Welcome. I'm here with Max Kordek, the co-founder and CEO of Lisk. Max, great to have you here. How are you?
I'm very good. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here, Max. Kick us off by telling us what exactly is Lisk?
At Lisk, our mission is to make crypto and Web3 accessible. And for that, we are building a blockchain application platform on which everyone can either develop new kind of use cases using blockchain technology or use these kind of use cases. Our whole mission is basically to onboard 100 million people to crypto and Web3.
Amazing. Okay, which products does Lisk provide to developers and users? What exactly are you guys giving to the marketplace?
Like I just said, we're making blockchain accessible. And we figured out that, well, we need to make it accessible to different target audiences. And as you correctly pointed out, this has to be for developers and for users. Meaning for developers, we're offering a software development kit, short SDK, which enables them to rapidly develop new blockchains. And with those, they can rapidly develop new blockchain applications. On the user side then, because, well, you can imagine now these new kind of use cases are being developed, you need a portal to them. And that's what we call our blockchain application platform, a gateway for users to crypto. And you can imagine it kind of like an app store from Apple or from Google, where you have a variety of blockchain applications you can discover and then, of course, also use. And for the user, what we're really looking after is user experience, because we think like to onboard these 100 million users to crypto and Web3, the user experience needs to drastically improve from where we are today. So that's one of the main focus points on the user side of things to make that happen.
Understood. Now, what is the big idea behind Lisk, the core of what you guys are doing here and where the big vision is going forward?
So the big idea, when I look back to 2016, when we started the whole thing, was that there was not a lot going on in the crypto world. And we brainstormed, why is it? And we came to the conclusion that it is an insanely complicated industry, because you have a combination of many different industries in one. So you have cryptography, game theory, you have peer-to-peer or decentralized technology. So a lot of knowledge has to be available to people to actually do something in this industry. But the main problem, what we thought back in the day, was that the development tools available were just not mature enough, or actually not even there, to start just tinkering and experimenting with this technology. So we wanted to, as a first step, really just break it down for the developer and make it simple to build blockchain applications. That was the whole idea 2016. But today, of course, like over the years, it evolved and became much bigger than that. We really feel like this crypto industry or Web3 has a tangible advantage to people. They can be their own bank. They can rely on decentralized applications without a middleman. And this advantage, or these advantages of Web3, we want to bring to the people.
Got it. And how does Lisk fit into the current Web3 landscape? Can you give us some color there?
So the current Web3 landscape, I think, is very crowded. So with Web3, to make it a reality, you essentially need these platforms where people can build these new kinds of applications on. Let's call them Web3 applications or blockchain applications. And while that field is pretty crowded, all these platforms where you can build these new kinds of applications on are called layer ones. And there are many, many layer ones currently in existence. So that's, in my opinion, creating a problem, because users don't know where to go. Everything sounds interesting, everything sounds like promising, but there's just too many. And well, we have a certain differentiator for the developers and businesses trying to adopt Web3, because we're JavaScript based, so they don't need to maybe rehire talents. They can reuse the existing talent pool they have inside the company. It's nearly impossible right now to get a Solidity developer, but a JavaScript developer, that's easy. You probably already have that. So there we have a clear advantage in comparison to these other layer ones. But in terms of the platform itself, I think everyone's still lagging behind in terms of user experience, etc., etc. So how we fit into the current landscape is, well, that we're really pushing hard on the developer side and the user side to get adoption going on, to let developers and businesses build new kinds of use cases which actually finally have a benefit to the people, and it's not just about money or making money, and that the average Joe is really like capable enough of using these kind of use cases. We really try hard to push on that front, to get the user experience going. And what I feel like other Web3 projects are not pushing so much into that direction, because they're in a very comfortable spot. They have a lot of money, they have a high token price, even now after the drop, but they are all not good enough in terms of user experience. So really that's, I think, where we fit into, that we try to make things a little bit different, easier and more accessible to the average Joe, so that this technology can really help people, I think that's kind of where we fit into, with unique aspects, of course, on our tooling and on our programming language choice. But in general, like I said, the industry is very crowded. It's hard to stand out. But I think we're going into the right direction in terms of focusing on accessibility.
Absolutely. Okay, and a final question for you, zooming out here. Tell us about the next important milestone for Lisk that needs to be achieved.
That's an easy one. So this Lisk SDK I was talking about, this exists since 2019. And we are making it better since then on a very regular basis. But the platform I was talking about, where you have in the middle the Lisk main chain, and then around it the different application side chains, that's still coming. So we published a large number of research papers, I think it's over 20 research papers, just covering the topic of something called interoperability. That means how you can connect different blockchains with each others. And if you look at how we want to construct our platform with the main chain in the middle and the side chains around it, then you need a certain connection there. And the research was done, and we're implementing that now since a little bit over a year. And that's our next big milestone, the launch of the Lisk platform, where you can then send tokens, NFTs, data from one chain to another. And this is establishing the platform itself. And that's the next big milestone. It's coming somewhere next year. So I'm really looking forward to that. Internally, we are, of course, developing it. We're already researching the next development goals. But especially inside marketing, we're now focusing on this launch, ramping up our efforts, and really trying to be back. So I think with this platform launch and marketing, we are now preparing ourselves to step back into the limelight and to become relevant again in order to enable developers to build the next generation of Web3 applications on Lisk. And that's the next milestone, and I'm so looking forward to that. For that, we will organize next year another Lisk.js, which is our developer conference we organize, on which then a lot more information becomes available. So stay tuned there for more information on our social media channels.
Wonderful. We're looking forward to watching that happen there. Max Kordek, co-founder and CEO of Lisk. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing more about what you guys are working on.
Of course. Thank you so much. See you.